نهاري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to another fresh episode of NASFAT RR on MITV, a program sponsored by National Life Society, NASFAT. Inshallah, on today's edition of the program, we will be looking at a very interesting and educative topic, which is healthy living. How healthy are you? In the studios with me to discuss this, I have Alhaja Azizat Salaudin, a retired nurse from the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, and also a member of Medical Health Committee, and she is the coordinator of Women Health NASFAT. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ameen wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're welcome to the program.
Alhamdulillah, jazakumullah.
I also have in the studio with me Alhaja Fauzia Shomade Idowu, a nurse working with the National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi. She's also the Assistant Director, Nursing Service, and she's NASFAT Zone 1 Women's Secretary. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Like I said earlier on, I said we will be looking at healthy living. Now let's start this way. What do we mean by health? I mean, what does health, what does it mean? Alhaja Azizat, can you please shed more light on this? Health, what does it mean?
Health is defined as a state of complete health for physical, mental, and social well-being, and not the absence of infirmity or disease or illness. And pertaining to the lecture of today, we are going to delve much on healthy living. And that healthy living is just the steps and the actions and the strategies needed to be sure we have optimum health.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhaja Azizat had just given us the definition of health. Alhaja Fauzia, do you totally agree with that?
Yes, because there's being in a state of health is not about one particular part of a system. You have to be physically fit, mentally, and as well be socially fit. So it's not just until when you are sick or you are down that you say you are unhealthy. So when you are not mentally fit, you are unhealthy. So it takes a complete state of a body system to be healthy.
Alhamdulillah. Then what do we call that very particular word, healthy living? What is it to have a healthy living?
Having a healthy living lifestyle, is not just about eating well or having going through exercises like most people do. They say they jog during the day and they monitor their health. When you have a healthy living style, it involves so many things that you need to consider. You will consider your lifestyle, your social lifestyle. You consider the food you take in, you consume. You consider how you rest. You consider the type of relationship you keep with people. You consider the environment, your hygiene. You consider what your relationship with your neighbors, because you have to be in a peaceful environment. You have to be in a peaceful circumstances in your place of work. You have to mind the type of food you consume, and also the other parts, your social lifestyle. You don't involve in too many activities that will break your system down. So your emotions too, you have to balance your emotions so that you don't involve in undue emotional stress that will destabilize your system. So there are so many things you keep in mind when you are talking about healthy lifestyle, not just exercises and food.
Thank you very much, Alhaja Fauzia. You mentioned social lifestyle, food, types of relationship, environment, hygiene, and the rest of that. Alhaja Azizat, are there other things that one needs to consider for you to say you have healthy living?
Yes, alhamdulillah, we have so many other things, like she has rightly said. But at this particular time now, I want to talk about those things that she has mentioned first. She has mentioned about diet. In that diet, we are talking about balanced diet, not just any food. We want to be healthy. We are talking about, and to take balanced diet, it takes you to have appropriate proportions of all the elements, components of the food, which comprises of the protein, the carbohydrate, the fat, and the minerals as well, and the other nutrients that's needed for the optimal growth of your body. When we are talking about that food as well, at least we need to tell you that it has to be fresh food.
Okay.
It has to be fresh and made in an hygienic environment. Make in an hygienic environment for us to get the optimal results we needed in that food, not just taking junk. Then going to the exercise thing, there are so many things we need to do rather for the exercise thing. Just walking briskly 30 minutes. I'm not talking about jogging, walking. But you have to prepare your mind when you are doing exercise that I'm doing exercise, not the stressful thing that we are doing. But I'm going for an exercise. You kid yourself, put your mind at rest that this is an exercise. Since we are talking about healthy living, it's a permanent lifestyle that we need to imbibe in to achieve this optimal health. At this time, as a Muslim, we are blessed. Alhamdulillah. So many of the tenets of our religion, if we adhere strictly to it, it is very, very relevant to this topic we are talking about. Because we have five pillars of Islam.
Yes.
We are talking about your faith. When you adhere to principle of Islam, the five pillars of Islam, the first one, which is faith, if you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that what has been ordained for you will happen to you as a Muslim. If anything happens to you, you are going to take it as a Muslim, and it's going to be to give you stress-free life. The second one is about your salah. When you obtain your salah at the right time, at the appropriate time.
Observing your salat regularly.
At the right time as well.
Okay.
The 5 times pillars of 5 times prayers as well that you are doing now, you are doing exercise. If you see us as a Muslim, when we stand up, we bow and we cool. And the minimum you can do for that is 17 times. Without our nawafil, at least you do that. So that is why I say so many of the things that are there for us is still what is relevant to this particular topic. Then the next one now, we are talking about fasting that we are in as well. And that thing is just Allah's own way, or even at least making sure that we remove the excess things that we don't want in our life. Then we reach out to the less privileged people. We spread the goodness of Allah that is within you with your other co-Muslim. When my sister was talking about your relationship with the others, that is a good thing that Sawm, the fasting, is teaching you. Then at the same time, you feel the pain that those people that that do not have much, that they have now. So at least you too, you will know how to reach out to them, and then you know how to do your charity well. And that is going to give you, when you know you give, it's going to give you happiness as well. Then the same thing with the other pillars as well. You know, before you do your prayer, you have to wash your hands. You have to perform ablution. You have to do ablutions. There is no way you do those things 5 times daily that at least you have maximum health, that optimum health that we are talking about here as well. And according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was given to our Prophet Muhammad, we were asked to wash our hands regularly as a Muslim. And the same thing is what we are propagating, we health workers as well. Washing your hands before you eat your food, after your food, going to the toilet, lavatory, and all sorts. And you know, by washing hands as well, we are going to remove a lot of germs. We are not going to spread some diseases that are transferable through that avenue as well. So if we continue doing that, and our own children that we are having, they are looking at what we are doing. They are just like a mentor. We are just like a mentor. Seeing what we are doing, there is tendency for them to follow us and practice what we believe in. That is to elaborate on what my sister have just told you about the steps. I'm just relating it to
the 5 pillars of Islam
as well.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Islam is the total way of life. There's no doubt about that. Alaja Fauziya, she has mentioned some of those steps. Are there other steps that we need to do or consider that will give us that healthy living that we deserve?
Alhamdulillah, there are still more. Like, to start with where she was, when she was discussing, she talked about being good, having good rapport, relationship with our neighbors. From the hadith, we were told that the Prophet ﷺ said, we should be nice to our neighbors. We should be good to our neighbors. 40 people in front of you, 40 behind you, 40 to your right, 40 to your left. By the time you extend that, And the next person to you also extend that. And we keep extending 40 to each neighbors around us. We will all live peacefully and we'll be kind to ourselves. We have peace of mind. We have stressless. We have people to relate with. We have people to chat with. And we also learn that problem discussed is like problem half solved. So you have relief in your mind. So in addition to healthy living, you need to stay away from alcohol, drugs, and self-medication. Because even the Quran, God himself tells us not to be involved in alcohol, not to consume alcohol. It is in the Quran chapter 5, verse 90-91, where God states that things like that, alcohol, we should shun it. We should desist from it. So if God himself says we should not take alcohol, he knows what is good for us and what is not beneficial to us. So we are using this medium to also enlighten our people that if we can stay away from drugs and alcohol, we will live healthily. Because even alcohol, it's one of the factors that gives somebody raised blood pressure. When you are consuming alcohol in large volume, you are likely to be a candidate of high blood pressure, which is also known as silent killer, because most people go about with it without even knowing that they have raised blood pressure, unless they have one reason or the other to have contact with the medical practitioners. Then when we are talking about living healthy, you are also supposed to have safe sexual lifestyle. You should not have sexual intercourse before marriage, and you should not have extramarital affairs, because in the course of this, medically you can contact various sexual diseases that you will also transfer to your spouse, and with that you keep nursing ill health, which we are talking about. We want to avoid being unhealthy. So we should have a clean, healthy lifestyle. Then we should live in an environment that is free from pollution, either water polluted environment, whether by air pollution with all these gas, combustive atmosphere we have a lot of carbon monoxide in the environment, which is not good for our lungs. So we should live in an environment that is safe. Even the water, if it is contaminated, all the ecosystem of that place will be distorted. The fishes that are living within water that survives there will be killed, and we know that when the fish are no more available, it is also going to affect our health, because we consume those animals to live healthy. So somebody who wants to live healthy should have less pollution around person. Even in our place of work, we should work less hours. We should not overdo things. By all these areas that we have itemized, keep it into our lifestyle and live permanently with it. Because when we do it and we leave it, we are going back to an unhealthy life pattern.
Alaja, you spoke about balanced diet earlier on. The people that are poor, let me use that word, how easy is it for them to have this balanced diet? Is it not expensive?
Not expensive, my sister. Thanks for that question.
Alhamdulillah.
Because there are so many things that we do not know concerning to balanced diet. It doesn't necessarily need to be something expensive.
Okay.
It is taking those components in the appropriate proportions: the protein thing, the carbohydrates, the fats, and the minerals. And we make sure they are the available things. We don't need to use canned thing or something that is not fresh. If you are talking about protein now, there are so many sources of protein we have in the market that we can key into, like the beans thing, like beans, lentils, wheat. Eggs is expensive, but at least at the same time, not that expensive. You can still get half a crate of egg, at least for maybe 500 naira. Since we know the essential of those, then they are the milk thing as well. Once in a while, we need it, especially the children. But at the same time, the alternative things for those people that are not less privileged one that you are talking about, is that those one that the expensive things are those ones they bought in the stores, the stores. If you go to the market,
Local market,
you get the fresh things, and they are very cheap and they are affordable.
Okay.
Make sure you take the fresh things. Then at the same time, the carbohydrate thing, you have a lot of corn, wheat, you have your vegetables, banana. There is a lot of mangoes in the season now. You can indulge in that. Not necessarily that you go for the expensive one like the apple and everything. But for the people that can afford it, it is very good. Very good to take those ones, the apples, the pears,
berries.
and the other berries, all the berries, the blueberries, the red berries. They are very good for the heart and all these systems. But I'm just telling you that the locally produced banana, oranges,
mangoes.
But at the same time, let us tell the audience here that it is better to use what is in the season, because then at that particular time, those things are always cheap to get. They are readily available and they're not that so much expensive. Just try it. If it has nothing to do with you, because there are some people that are reacting to certain things. Beside the fabu thing or this those superstition thing. If not that, especially the vegetables, the green ones, our wedu, our okra, our what is it called, our agu, all those, they are very rich in potassium, minerals, and all sorts. And you need a lot of them. Then those foods you can as well blend them. Please let us stop from taking those sugary beverages. They are not good for our health as well. Not even the children, not to talk of us that are adults, because that with the sources of the obesity in children is more of those people that are giving them when they are going to school, giving them those, I don't want to mention names here, but those sugary beverages. Instead of that, let us give them fresh fruits and let us blend those ones for them. The fat thing as well, let us stop using the fat that we used to fry one day and pour it. It is like
keep it and use it some other time.
Just make sure you use the small one you wanted to use, and that is the way to attain that optimal something. At the same time, water. Please, I wanted to tell us about this. Water is essential to our human body. We all know that about 60% of our body comprises of water. So because of that, there is something that is free, a therapy for us, and that will give us, it is tested, and we want to share it with the audience. It's going to give us healthy living as well. If we imbibe in it, but it is called water therapy. It costs nothing to us, but at the same time, it's going to do a lot of things in our body. Water, we use water to, at least, to detoxify toxins in our body. It's going to, at least we are going to use it to remove waste from your body, and it's going to aid digestion. Let me quickly go to the principle of that water therapy. There, at least, it is the thing that they do ask us to do first thing in the morning when we wake up. The quality of the water is very, very important. It has to be clean water, colorless, odorless water, and we must ensure that the water is about between 1 liter and 1.5 liters. You take the water, and 1 hour after taking the water now, you can now take fruits, not food, as if you are breaking your fast.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Ajia Aziza, for that water therapy. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to start doing that today. Ajia Fauziya, we've talked about the water therapy and all that. Is there other aspects of healthy living that you want to talk about? How we can achieve that?
Thank you. After going through all the aspects that we have mentioned, we still should not relax that we are fit. We should always regularly visit the medical practitioners so that we do medical checkup, especially people from 40 and above. As we are growing older, all our organs are getting older as well, and they perform less. So we should also go there to check our status and know how our health is. There is this regular investigations that will be carried out. Some people don't know their personal blood pressure. And ideally, you're supposed to know what is your normal blood pressure. Under normal circumstances, your blood pressure ranges between this and that. So that when it is deviating, when it is either getting lower or you will know. Because for some people, to them, 100/60 is normal. Why to some people, it's 120. Why some, even at 130, they are okay, depending on age, depending on gender. So, and depending on the activities you are involving in on your daily life, we have variation in blood pressure. So we need to visit our medical practitioners regularly and know our status. When we go there, they do also a routine blood glucose check, whereby if you are getting closer to having diabetes, it will be detected early, and early diagnosis of any condition gives you better prognosis, and it makes you to start treatment in time. Is either you avoid some things to not get to that disease condition, or you start treatment early. So they will do blood check. Some will even do they will do urea, creatinine, and they know your level. And even this fat that we are talking about, when they do it, they will tell you the level of fat intake that you should take, and how to now live your normal lifestyle from getting unwell, so that you stay within the wellness margin. So we need to visit. Even the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that we should visit professionals to know, because he too said that God himself said everything that he has created for us is for our use to treat us. So it's not Islam is not against getting treatment for any ailment, because all the things around us, God created them for our use. So why do you stay back until you now get ill and you get worse? That little or minimal treatment that is cheaper will not be able to cure what you should have avoided. And health is cheaper to keep away from sickness, because treating sickness is expensive. So we stay safe by living within all these identified areas of keeping healthy, because it's cheaper to live healthy.
Alhamdulillah, treating sickness is expensive. Healthy living, that is the topic we've been looking at. Now, we are in the month of Ramadan, the blessed month of Ramadan. How do we keep fit during this month of Ramadan? Elijah, let me come to you first. How do we keep fit during this month of Ramadan?
It is very essential,
Yes.
because we need all the energy and the nutrition. That is where the balanced diet comes in. The food you are taking during Ramadan must be fresh, thin.
Okay.
They must be fresh, and taking a lot of fruits. It's something to hydrate. You know, there are going to be a long hours after taking our zawri and the iftar period. Because of that, if you have taken nourishing diet in the morning, it's going to take you last throughout the period before you take your iftar. That is why it is very essential to take balanced diet in the morning. For that, no matter what, even if it is just ordinary water, we can add milk to make it balanced. For those people that are at least something to make you at least strong to withstand that period. What we are trying to do is that don't take still, don't take something that is not hygienic, that is going to disturb you. If you are taking something that is not hygienic, that is tendency for you to have abdominal problem or running tummy. But when you are taking balanced thing and something that is very nourishing, it's going to give you the required nutrition for the whole day. Make sure the thing is balanced in the appropriate proportions. Then you don't eat for 3 when you are doing your iftar as well, because we've skipped the lunch. It is the way Allah ordained us to do it. But when you are doing your iftar, we are admonished to take dates in odd numbers. And if you see that date, at least it is very nourishing. The essential nutrients we need, because of the high level of glucose inside it, is going to give us a lot of energy for the same period that we've been at least abstaining from food and drinks. Then after that, if we don't have that now, we can now take water and the fruit. Then make sure that whatever you are eating at that particular period as well is balanced as well. It's balanced and not heavy, so that you'll be able to sleep at night and you'll still be able to wake up for your necessary obligations during the night as well. So,
Alhamdulillah. Elijah Fauzia, how do we keep fit in this month of Ramadan? She has talked about eating well, fresh fruits, drinking water. What other ways can we keep fit in this month of Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah. Ramadan itself is a form of keeping fit.
Alhamdulillah.
It trains us to moderation. You are supposed to eat minimally. Despite the fact that we are fasting, we are supposed to eat minimally. During Ramadan, sickness even are being taken care of. They are under control because our excesses are being taken care of. We don't eat too much. We don't over-exercise. We don't go involved in too many activities that will burn off our energy, and all these our cells they are under normal control, so they perform optimally. So when we are eating, we have been told to take balanced meal. Balanced meal is a meal that is having enough nutrition to sustain your daily activity, and it contains all the various food classes. It contains carbohydrates in moderation. It contains proteins. It contains mineral, and it has little fat. So it's not that you starve yourself. By the time you take that and you take enough fluid that will sustain you from dehydration during the day, and when you now get to the evening, you should take light meal so that you'll be able to sleep. You should also sleep early, because you wake up early, so that you are not depriving yourself of sleep during Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, we are gradually coming to the end of today's edition of NASFAT Half Hour. I say Jazakumullah khairan to Alaja Azizat Salahuddin, a retired nurse from Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, and a member of Medical Health Committee. She is also the coordinator, Women Health NASFAT. Thank you very much for coming on to the program.
Alhamdulillah, we appreciate you as well for at least inviting us to your studio. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the grace to do more of it, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. I also want to say a very big thank you to Alaja Fauziya Shomade Idowu, a nurse working with the National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi. She's also Assistant Director, Nursing Services, and NASFAT Zone 1 Women's Secretary. Jazakumullah khairan for coming to the program and sharing your ideas, which is very, very beneficial to all and sundry. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much for coming.
Jazakumullah khairan. I'm happy and very glad to have this opportunity of coming here to enlighten our people out there. And I look forward to many more Ramadan to come in our lifetime. Ramadan Kareem to everybody.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. That is the program today from NASFAT Half Hour, sponsored by Nasrullah Fati Society. Till we come your way another time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Tafsan Tours and Travels Limited, your trusted and reputable Hajj operator, is determined to make your Hajj pilgrimage this year quite pleasurable and memorable. Tafsan Tours has a proven track record as a leading Hajj operator in terms of comfortable accommodation, well-organized visits to spiritual landmarks, competitive Hajj rates, and rich dawah and lectures for pilgrims. Our rate this year is 1,365,000. As usual, Emirate will airlift our pilgrims on the 14th of August and arrive on the 29th of August. Take advantage of our attractive offer by obtaining your form today at Tafsan Tours and Travels Limited, number 9/10 Jubilee Road, Magodo, Shangisha, Lagos, or any of our offices at Abuja, Ibadan, Iwo in Osun, or any NASFAT branch nationwide. Tafsan Tours and Travels Limited, redefining Hajj operations.
رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن